Namaste, Angel. This is the weekly reading for the period of September 18th through the 24th. Hope all is doing well. Mercury retrograde hasn't been too hard on you yet. So far, so good for me. Can't complain. We're starting with Try Again, Party, Wet and Wild, Stay in Bed, and Kitchen. Try Again. We have somebody that's making a decision, and it looks like before they may have been afraid, so they could be trying that again. We have the Two of Swords here and the Seven of Swords. So this could be associated with the dice, but we'll see. Let's give them a shake. Spirit says no. I'm on top. 29. Spiritual partnership. Bedroom. And dirty movie. We could have something else going on in the news. Last week this came up, and I had recorded the reading early and said that there could be something like global, some kind of global news, and then the Queen died. Not necessarily feeling global today, but I mean this week, but it is possible. But this could be much more local to you. This could just be you sharing pictures with someone, sending them via text or something, or maybe starting an online dating profile or something like that. Happy birthday to the third deacon Virgos. My niece has a birthday on Monday, the 19th. My ex has a birthday on Monday. And then very soon after that, we begin Libra season. Sun enters Libra this week. All right, so we're going to get started with the cards. With the secret messages, we're beginning with, I enjoy being a casual observer and watching you on social media. Somebody is watching you. Big Page of Swords energy comes with that. And I think I did see the Page of Swords a couple times as I was shuffling, actually. So somebody could definitely be tuning into your social media. Hopefully it's for good, because, for a while I had been feeling a lot of, like negative energy and like jealous people watching you. Maybe like, at one time I was specifically feeling females, like jealous females. I said maybe it's somebody's mother or wife or sister or girlfriend or sneaky link or something. Still could be some of that going on. A lot of people were invaded by all different kinds of flies. I just had another girlfriend who's not even, well, she might be into this, but she doesn't know that I'm into it. And if she's into it, I don't know that about her. That's not the kind of stuff we talk about. But we were at lunch, out to lunch last week, and she was telling me that she had been like invaded by flies in her house. Fruit flies. She had the fruit flies like I did. The west side of New York, I was by the World Trade Center. It was 9/11 last week. Lantern flies like a plague. I'm telling you, like a plague. Like they're falling on you as you're trying to walk down the block. And I was like stepping, like as I'm walking, like boom, boom. Like you're trying to walk down the street and you got to like step out of place and step on them and step on them and step on them because they kill the trees. Anyway, after cutting, we have too many problems in this relationship, and the roller coaster ride is making me ill. Maybe we should call it quits for now. This is the kind of thing that could come up possibly during Mercury retrograde, because communication can be so off, and actually that Mercury retrograde enters Virgo this week. So Mercury retrograde started in Libra, and we talked at that time about how it would go sort of back and forth between Libra and Virgo. So now's the time when it's going to enter Virgo. With the Twin Flame Oracle, we're beginning with transformation. Somebody changing, or something changing in your life. There's breakthrough, reinvention, and says you're ready for the next level. I feel like I have leveled up so much, very, very quickly. I won't list all the ways, but I just hope that other people are experiencing similar energy. And if you're not, you can and you will, if you cut out like the things that are holding you back and the people that are holding you back, because that's what I did. reflection, twin, wholeness, synchronicity abounds. So you noticed I'm not shuffling, I'm just cutting, and it's just like to try to save some time. We'll see. Overall energy is healing. Modern Witch Tarot. Starting with the Chariot, Major Arcana card 7. It's followed by Major Arcana card 8, Strength. This is Cancer and Leo energy. Could maybe something is involving a Cancer, Leo, Cuspian or something. Very possible. Maybe this is about movement and just being strong as you move forward, being confident. So it could be travel, it could be movement, it could be something with a career, there could be some sort of major like breakthrough that came with the transformation energy. And, you know, you can be victorious if you move forward, again, confidently, as if you know the universe has got your back. And the next card is the King of Wands. He is in reverse. Somebody could be moving on from a King of Wands, possibly an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. King of Wands in reverse otherwise isn't a bad card. In fact, he can be somebody... King of Wands upright is certainly somebody who's very helpful to you, gives you advice. We got the Six of Swords. So again, there could be movement, there could be travel. And this is going to be successful. If it is actual travel, you know, it's like a safe travels. You know, you don't have to worry. Even though it's Mercury retrograde, and Mercury controls transportation and travel, you will have a safe trip there and back. Speaking of back, some of us might be traveling back in time and revisiting a situation from our past with the Six of Cups, albeit in reverse. So with the Six of Cups in reverse as opposed to upright, not only might somebody or something from your past be returning, but it's probably something that you've been sweeping under the rug, a relationship. It's like the elephant in the room, and you likely will be finally addressing it, and then hopefully moving on from it one way or another, or moving on, not necessarily moving on from it, maybe moving on with it, but just in a much healthier and better way. Rider-Waite Tarot, again with the Two of Swords. Somebody's at some sort of crossroad. Again, they have a decision to make. It might be a decision about healing. Maybe, and this could be something medical I'm getting. And by medical, it could be physical or mental health. So somebody may be deciding on whether or not they should see a doctor, right? A psychologist or a psychiatrist, and talk to them about their emotional health. We got all these emotions here. And or I'm getting something about physical health too. Somebody could be deciding as to what kind of treatment they're going to get or take on. This card sometimes represents like bisexuality or maybe LGBTQA stuff for me. With the two, the energy of Gemini can be very bisexual. People say that about Mercury, which is our ruler. I mean, I could go into a whole deep thing. I don't really want to. But the red triangle on this angel's chest here just stuck out to me. And in combination with this, you know, somebody could be deciding, maybe they're trans and they're deciding whether or not to get, you know, like top and or bottom surgery or something like that. It's a very emotional situation for them. And it's going to take a lot of thinking, a lot of faith. You see this head is like illuminated. Behind that, the moon in reverse. So there could be like some confusion. Not all is as it seems. Maybe not all is as it seems about this person. And they want to, and they're like deciding, what should I do? was something that came up last week too that made me think about LGBTQIA+. It was a triangle and a rainbow, I think. I don't remember what card that was. Anyway, again, there's decision. There's a lot of options, a lot of potential choices, whether it has something to do with somebody being bisexual or whatever or not. You know, somebody, many people, it would seem, have some sort of decision to make. And there are a lot of choices, a lot of potential options that you could go with. It may have to do with maybe with forgiving, revisiting a situation or someone that caused you hurt, pain, betrayal. And you didn't see this coming, this pain. Like sometimes, you know, it's like we kind of know what we're in for. We know what to expect out of a person. It's like, I was just waiting for you to be you, you know. This is my uncle told me this story when I was very, very little. I'm sure many people have heard it by this time. It wasn't like a private story. You know, like a metaphor. It was about this snake, and you know, this man that had become very friendly with the snake. Well, you know, long story short, the snake bit him, and he's like, "Why did you bite me?" He's like, "You knew I was a snake when you picked me up, like when you decided to, you know, befriend me. I'm being me." And so we can expect people to be them, and so you know, sometimes you're expecting them to hurt you, but this person's back was turned to whomever betrayed him. So he did not see this coming. You may have experienced something like that, maybe at the hands of a Queen of Wands, or maybe it's the Queen of Wands who has experienced this. And so now she's thinking, what's her next move? Or again, do we revisit the situation? Do we forgive this person? Do I move on? Or maybe do I talk to a doctor or somebody about my health, right? My mental, my emotional health. But she's here in reverse. It's Queen of Wands. The King of Wands was in reverse too, wasn't he? Queen of Wands, possibly an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Then we got a Page of Swords. So again, it could involve some information that comes in. Maybe something somebody sees online involving you, about you. Maybe that's the betrayal. Like you see, you know, something that shouldn't be happening online. You read a thread, you get a DM, you know, something like that. You see a video and you're like, hey, that shouldn't be going on and that hurts me. Yeah. Or maybe this has occurred in your life already. And so again, now you're making a decision as to what to do. Now here we have a Seven of Swords in reverse. I mean, like when it's upright, it's really about distrust. Maybe sometimes it's about us distrusting ourselves, having a lack of confidence. Again, not all is that it seems when we see the moon, but when we see the moon, particularly upright, it means that our psychic awareness ability, everything is heightened. Our dreams are more vivid. You should even write them down. You know, if you have dreams and you remember them when you wake up, like write them down as soon as you wake up before you forget them. We're receiving some kind of guidance, right? Probably through our intuition, maybe signs, synchronicities and stuff. Even though we're not clear on it, we're expected to follow it, or you know, the universe encourages us to follow it. And the fact that the Seven of Swords is in reverse here would mean that maybe we're not as afraid as we have been in the past to follow it. Now we have the Tower behind Major Arcana card 18, the Moon. We have Major Arcana card 16, the Tower, upright. And we see a lot of scary stuff on this card. But it can really have to do with revelation, you know, like coming to some sort of understanding about whatever was unclear with that moon. I mean, sometimes it does have to do with an actual event or an actual tower, even like a structure, a building, a home or something. Something could go down. Somewhere, I mean, I would prefer it doesn't happen, so I hope not. But somewhere we could see, you know, in some state or country or something, we could see something like weather related or something, you know, involving like lightning or like wildfires or something like that too. And maybe that's attached to Dirty Movie. Judgment in reverse. Judgment, reverse, upright, whatever. For me, it's a good card. It's very positive. It can have to do with some trying again, like the die suggested, second chances, a second time around, something coming back around to you. Being at a crossroad, sort of like the Two of Swords, and needing to decide, needing to pick, do I go this way, do I go that way? Represents the planet Pluto in the sign of Scorpio. It means something's not dead too. You may have thought something was over, it ended, it was dead. But this is, you know, like Gabriel blowing his horn to say, nope, wake up. We're on to our next move. Next situation. And we got the Knight of Swords, so some major information. This card is also, for me, is about abundance that's earned. Something that you deserve, you worked on it, you manifested it successfully. And this could be the Knight of Swords coming in to tell you that here it is, because then we have the Three of Cups, so it's a celebratory situation. And we have another Two of Swords now, this time in reverse, like we've made the decision. We've made the choice. Communication, maybe we've made the decision to communicate or to treat somebody more fairly, treat ourselves more fairly too. You know, this is about equity and equality, and maybe in the past we had breadcrumbs somebody or they'd done that to us, and now if they're returning to our life or we're returning to theirs, we're not going to do that. We're going to be more fair. The relationship's going to be more balanced if we're willing to take a chance. And see, now we have the Queen of Wands upright. Overall energy here now, the Six of Wands in reverse, followed by the Three of Swords in reverse. So again, somebody was in pain. You know, there was a situation where somebody was hurt, betrayed, ghosted, into some other kind of separation or something, and they're moving beyond it. And, you know, it could be slow and steady progress, but they're winning at this. This is successful. There's a new beginning wanting to start, but there's something blocking it. There's something that has to be worked on. Maybe a conversation or something is needed to be had. Something from the past that's rearing its ugly head again, whether it's a relationship, it's your ex, you know, it's whatever. It's coming back, and it's not to be swept under the rug this time. It's coming back to actually be dealt with. And once it's dealt with, then this Ace of Cups will turn around. All right, and you can move forward. We've got Cancer again. Now Cancer and Virgo energy with the Hermit. This person could be a Virgo, an actual Virgo, but this person may very well be the person that is watching you, enjoying watching you via social media, because he has his lantern here, right? And he's like, you know, illuminating things and like keeping an eye out for folks. Even though he may have pulled back his energy, he's, you know, you may not see him, but he sees you. He may be watching you out there being single. This could be the ex themselves, right? He's seeing you. Look how successful. Look how she's all the way up, as I mentioned. I was earlier, right? Look how she's doing. She's doing so well. I just enjoy and admire looking at her, all right? Let's use this one. So again, we're going to get our 6 cards. That's too many, but we should take note of these. 9 of Swords. 4 of Wands in reverse. Somebody like wants to get married, and this might be the person that's separated from you. It's just like keeping them up at night. They really, really want to be with you, want to be happy, want to be joyous. They don't know how to get there. They don't know how to do it. And maybe because they were the ones that betrayed you before. It's very possible. Yeah. Oh! Look at that. I had no idea that this was on the bottom. I was talking about the betrayal. It's a 10 of Swords, but this one says everything's fine. So it's like, we should be over this now. Or the person that's staying up all night, worried about, like, are they still mad at me for having betrayed them or having, you know, left them, having ghosted, whatever it is. The answer is no. I mean, it doesn't mean that you don't need to have a conversation with them, that apologies aren't due and stuff like that, but everything is fine, you know, overall. Everything is fine. All right, let's get our 6 cards, hopefully from the universe. I want to get We got a 4 of Cups. Is this in reverse or upright? I guess if it's kind of in reverse, the way it's facing me. Let's just make note of this. So that would mean somebody, you know, getting over the oh, woe is me and deciding to get off their butts and do the work. 7 of Pentacles, finally like reaping what you... The card, whether upright or in reverse, is about reaping what you've sown. Sometimes in reverse, it comes across to me as getting exactly what you deserve, good or bad. Right? So like whatever your karma is supposed to be. But I'm going to try again for 6 individual cards. Let's see if the cards and the universe will do what I want. If I get a bunch again, we'll just deal with the bunch. Let's see. Now I'm getting nothing. There's that 4 of Wands again. It's like we wanted you to look at this card. It's still in reverse. Isn't that funny? Five of Wands also in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Really? This is what we're doing today? We need 2 more. Six of Wands. Stop me again. Still in reverse too. 2 more. It's that 4 of Cups again too. They're like, we tried to give you these cards before, you didn't take them. All right, King of Wands in reverse is the overall energy. I should have been placing these cards as they fell. So this is the one that most directly represents us this week. This is the surrounding energy. Work and finance. Nice. Love and relationship. Physical health. I guess this is spiritual health. And we got this extra guy. 4 of Cups. Did I turn it around or was it still in reverse? I don't know. I also just got something that our overall energy, this King of Wands in reverse, could have something to do with King Charles III. And maybe that maybe there will be something global that's interesting. Oh, when did they do the Queen's funeral yet? Or are they still walking around her dead body? I'm not sure. I mean, that tells you how much I care. How interesting. But you know, I understand that many people do. To me, a woman that lived a very long life passed away. That's what happens. Like, we don't live forever, and she wasn't necessarily the nicest person. Anyway, King of Wands in reverse. This could be him. I don't know his sign. I didn't look it up. I, again, don't care, especially after some of the stuff that he's been doing. He already reinstated that pervert, Prince Andrew. Anyway, I don't want to get into that, but he may be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or Scorpio, right? Because talking about Mars with the King of Wands. And this could have something to do with him in some cases. You know, all these cards are reverse. Behind here too, it's the 8 of Cups that's next in reverse, the 2 of Wands in reverse, the 7 of Cups in reverse, and then the Emperor upright. Very interesting. Okay, so otherwise for us, right, for the collective and those watching this reading, the King of Wands in reverse, our overall energy, could represent also a man. I mean, it doesn't have to be a man, but you know, could very well be a man more so than a woman, or a masculine energy more so than a feminine one. He's just been through a lot. So it could be a person, let's just say a person who's been through a lot in their life, and because they've experienced these things themselves, so like they understand about other people, so that makes them a nice person. Like, you know, they're more empathetic to other people's things and more understanding toward others. He often has like a lot of energy. just and which can be seen as immature, but he's not immature. I don't know what the word to describe something like that is. He's not immature. He has matured, and he's begun to understand that not everyone can match his pace. So again, he's very energetic. He likes to be on the go, likes move, 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 and he finally gets, because he's grown up somewhat. This could be attached to the Seven of Swords that we had before too, because Seven of Swords upright can be about, for me, people returning to your life and that they haven't changed, which is often not so great, because you're like, you're still doing that. But sometimes we're happy when people don't change, like, oh, you haven't changed a bit, and that's great. But when they're in reverse, it's like we've learned the lessons. You know, these swords can sometimes come with pain, and I've learned the lessons of that pain, and from that pain, that I'm a different person now. And the King of Wands in reverse is that way also. Because of that, he has a tendency, maybe like toward sometimes being particularly lenient toward others, and maybe he shouldn't necessarily be that way. So this could be somebody. Don't let anybody walk over you, I guess would be my overall message. Like, be careful of that this week, or we all got to be careful of that this week. We just got, if this is something maybe involving your children or somebody else that is like subordinate to you in some sort of way, that you're dealing with, something comes up with somebody, you may want to consider whether leniency is the best response. So maybe it's not your child, maybe it's an ex, right? And you've just always forgiven them and forgiven them and forgiven them for something, and maybe you want to decide if that's the best response this time, or if maybe you should walk away, or if maybe you got to have a conversation. Again, there needs to be some guidelines, some boundaries, some compromise, some decisions that we make together. Like, this is the rules we're going to go by. This is how, this is how I expect to be treated. Can you do it or not? Card that most directly represents us this week, again, reverse Four of Wands. Reverse Four of Wands often means that some sort of unexpected good news, good fortune, it's coming your way. So something that you're not expecting, that you don't know is coming your way, your back is to it. Maybe you, for example, like for some, maybe the Ten of Swords was only imagined. Maybe nothing really happened to you, but you just feel like life has been very, very challenging to you, and so you're not expecting anything good to come in. But then we saw the everything is fine card, because everything is fine. Like you're thinking about the worst and expecting the worst, but that's not what's coming your way. Something really positive is, and that may involve somebody returning to your life, or something returning to your life, or it could be totally unrelated to that. It's just good fortune that's coming to you. That doesn't mean that if there is something on which we've been working, like we can just sit back, like, stuff is going good for me now, Four of Wands, I'm in the clear, I can relax. Like, we still have to continue to work toward whatever goals it is we have. Good things just get better when we put effort behind them also. In love, it's still about like commitment, and again, maybe something good and unexpected happens in that regard. Somebody returns to your life. Somebody wants to enter a commitment with you in some way, or move up to the next level. And this is all the way, up to and including marriage. This could be what this is about. With the surrounding energy, if something seems too good to be true, doesn't pass the smell test, as they say, then don't believe it. Trust your instincts. I mean, this card is really telling you to do that. Something could be going on at work, and it could be like some kind of conflict at work. If you're able to stay out of it, stay out of it. If it somehow makes its way to you, if at all possible, try to think calmly, rationally, and avoid, again, arguments to the best of your ability. In love and relationships, this card is actually better than what it looks like, because again, it's about something coming to the surface to finally be dealt with. So it could very easily be connected to the Six of Cups in reverse. Again, something that's coming up. It's been swept under the rug in the past, but we got to deal with it. And you'll find that dealing with it makes your relationship better. So whether that means it's better and, now we're going to be together, or maybe this is with an ex, and you know, it's like your child's other parent or something, and you've not been getting along because you've been sweeping stuff under the rug, and you finally have a conversation, and it makes your relationship better, and now you're able to co-parent. So it doesn't have to necessarily be about, you know, when I say better, ending up together with the person that you're in conflict with, although in some cases, of course, it can and it will. This is better in general if we're talking to people in love and relationships. Moving on. The Ace of Pentacles for work, whether upright or in reverse, to me is good. But some of you may be thinking about leaving a position that you're currently in because you're ready to do something bigger, something more. You may need to consider asking for more responsibility at work or for a promotion, or, you know, if there's a competition, right, in your surrounding energy with the Five of Wands for, you know, a higher position, a better position, one that pays more money or something, you might be very well considering getting into that. The card tells you that leaving your current position, whatever it is you're doing, is likely a very good thing for you to do. And all in all, the reverse ace says that good things are either happening for you like now, and so this week they will, or very soon will be happening for you on the work front. So very, very positive. In terms of finances specifically, that, you know, may or may not be tied to your work, it's important that you don't allow yourself to think too negatively about money. All right. Sometimes we get into this energy where, like, we just form a poor relationship with money, honestly. You got to think about it as a tool, right? Yes, sometimes other people have more than us, but with this card, it means that your finances are generally, you know, stable and are going to remain stable. So you should just think positively about what you have, and not let yourself get into like a competitive, negative energy of jealousy and or envy, because that only harms us and our ability to manifest our abundance. It doesn't, you know, affect the other person. Six of Pentacles in reverse for love and relationship. Let me show you the card. This one's a little nicer because the card from the Rider-Waite deck shows that one person is, again, being breadcrumbed, even though it's the Six of Pentacles. In this case, they're both getting a gift. They're both getting a present. One's box is bigger, but that doesn't mean that what's in the smaller box isn't, you know, equally as awesome. In reverse, if we're single, we could be wondering, like, why things aren't, you know, happening for us and what's going on, because we think that we're so open and so out there and so, like, welcoming to people, and we're really not, is what the card is saying. And it could be because we're super independent, and we may think that we're ready to be interdependent, and that's what we're giving off those vibes, and we're not. We're giving off, I don't need anybody, I don't need a man, I don't need a woman, or whatever, I'm good by myself. I can do bad all by myself, or whatever the case is. And so if you are looking, it's time for you to maybe consider that and see if you can be a lot more, or a little more open about yourself, a little bit more, be willing to be a little bit more vulnerable, you know, put yourself out there a little bit more, open your heart a little more. If we are already in a committed relationship that doesn't seem to be going all that well, then we might need to try giving more, you know. And again, this can be the type of thing where you feel like, oh, I do this and I do that, so I'm giving. But, you know, reflect on it. And maybe in truth, you'll realize that you could do a little bit more. You could be a little bit more fair with your partner and with yourself, instead of expecting more to always be given to you. Hangman in reverse in the position of physical health, particularly if you haven't been feeling well, or, you know, you were dealing with something, can really be a time where you decide, maybe you need to decide, you need to consider, maybe I need to change the way I've been doing things, change my method of healing. Like I talked about in the beginning when I was shuffling the cards, I knew I felt that for somebody. Yeah, considering a new healing methodology. Maybe you've been going to Western medicine and you need to consider Eastern, or vice versa. Maybe it's some sort of habits or a diet that you can change, you can switch up. You know, why do I keep coming up anemic? maybe I need to switch my diet and eat more, iron-filled foods. That was just random example, but it's that sort of thing. Like there's something that you need to change in order to get like back on track. Like many people decide that they feel better if they give up dairy, for example. Let's particularly pick up people of color or black people. Like a lot of us are lactose intolerant. So maybe you haven't been feeling well. And one thing that you can try on your own without going to the doctor is, I'm going to stop drinking milk or eating milk products. I don't know. I think you get the idea. Like, there are things that we can do ourselves that can radically change, not just the way we feel, but even sometimes the way we look. We'll be looking healthier and better for it too. And lastly, the Page of Wands in the position of spiritual health means that this is a good time to be childlike. I mean, I talked about the King of Wands and how, he's kind of childlike and has like a really strong, and vibrant energy, like a youth. But he's like grown up, and so he tries to curtail it a bit. But this card shows up to say maybe it is time to be more childlike, more inventive, more creative, more willing to try new things and let your hair down and, just be out there. And explore and adventurous. So that is what we're guided to do in that area. I do want to look at, I don't know why we have this Four of Cups. This is like another overall energy. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be upright or in reverse. But again, before, when I was shuffling, it did appear to us in reverse. And in reverse is about deciding I'm done sulking. I'm going to, get up, and get something, as they say. When it's upright, we're just really not open, not receptive to what's around us. We're not noticing. He's like the hand of God, basically, trying to come down and give you an opportunity. This person doesn't even notice. They don't notice what's sitting right in front of them either. So, I mean, maybe some of us, this applies, and to some of us, this applies, and perhaps, and that's why we got it. I do want to clarify a couple others, though, like just for fun, right? Shits and giggles. Let's see what this Four of Wands might involve for some of us. Like, what is this thing that may make us joyous, or that we're trying to, or that may show up unexpectedly? What might it be about? Oh, like you might not be realizing that it's time for something you've been manifesting, something you've been working toward, right? And you've been really patient about it coming about. Again, this week you get exactly what you've been looking for, good or bad, but it looks like it's very good here, right? Because it's clarifying the Four of Wands, which is also in reverse. So, good fortune, unexpected surprise, something we've been trying to manifest shows up. For some of us, it could be a communication about it, right? You could get, or communication could be the thing you've been trying to manifest. If that's the case, that comes in. But usually when we see the pentacles, we it involves something material too, something 3D of this world. So yeah, I mean, it could be just the communication we've been trying to manifest, or maybe we receive a communication about the thing we've been trying to manifest, or the person, we get some sort of letter or something, maybe. Could be from a Queen of Swords, maybe from somebody that previously ended things with you, was cold toward you, cut you off. They could be who is coming back around, hopefully to say sorry. Maybe an actual, or it could involve, maybe this is you, maybe you were turned upside down by something, or you get turned upside down by this unexpected good thing coming in. It's like, whoa, sort of knocks you, bowls you over, as they say. And maybe it involves an actual Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, especially Aquarius, most directly Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Let's look at the Five of Wands, with whom the conflict may be, or what it might be about. Again, it could be competition for a career or relationship. It may very well have to do with career and a promotion, or, an opportunity or something to collaborate with others, maybe, that would bring about, earnings for us all. The Three of Pentacles is often about collaboration, groups, working with other people, making things happen. But it's also about whereas the Six of Pentacles, for example, can be about money that seems like it practically fell out of the sky, right? Like all of a sudden, you know, the universe is reaching out its hand to us and helping us out with something, like very timely assistance. The Three of Pentacles tends to be associated with our work. It's like a direct correlation to, you did this work, here's your pay, right? It represents like a worker energy. And so with the clarifying the Five of Wands, it could definitely be about competing for, you know, an open position or a promotion. Like, so if you're unemployed, there's other people that want this job, but you going in there and showing them what you got. And so whatever you reap from that is going to be not only what you deserve and what you've been trying to manifest, but like you put the effort in. So like you really earned this. You earned that job. Like you know, busted your ass in that interview or whatever it was. Could also have to do, I mean, still could potentially have to do a relationship. If so, maybe somebody that you met through or at work. A King of Cups, perhaps. Well, this King of Cups in reverse, he's not necessarily about love and relationship, although he often is. So for somebody, again, this could have to do a relationship, and maybe a relationship that started at their job or involving somebody they met through work. Perhaps, like I said, our overall energy before a Scorpio, or maybe a Pisces or Cancer or someone like into those traits or attributes. Doesn't have to actually be a water sign. King of Cups in reverse is somebody willing to like take risks, like do whatever it takes to get what he wants. So whether that is the job or a relationship or something, he's willing to put it out there. And whereas the King of Cups upright has his emotions so in check. I mean, he's a well-balanced person, masculine and feminine, you know, working together within him, very balanced way. You know, he is Zen, but he's not necessarily open with those emotions. He's not necessarily, you know, he doesn't necessarily communicate them. The King of Cups in reverse might be willing to pour his heart out, and which, if the Five of Wands is about a communication that needs to be had, right? A conversation that never happened, that needed to happen, that can be what that is, you know, finally, like the King of Cups representing somebody that's finally opening up to you to have this conversation that y'all need to have. And, you know, again, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like a reversal of fortune. So things haven't been going well. There's been conflict. Well, now you're going to get out of conflict. It's also a card of fortune, right? It's also a card of like blessings and fate and destiny. Like this is meant to happen. This is the job, you know, that you were born to have. This is the relationship you were born to be in. It's that sort of thing that's coming toward us. Do we need to clarify the Ace of Pentacles? I don't think so. Love and relationship. We'll look at that one. Seven of Swords in reverse. So again, somebody could be coming back, but they're different now. So they've learned whatever lessons they needed to learn from the experience, possibly from the separation. Yeah, they had walked away before, you had walked away from them, and that you know, that triggered something. That triggered change. And they're regretful and disappointed in themselves, maybe disappointed in you. They miss you. They want to fix this. Even if you haven't been in separation, if you've still been connected, but your communication's been off, things just haven't been as wonderful as you know you recall them to have been in past times in your relationship. You know, even for you, there's like sort of like a coming home kind of energy. I'm sorry, I'm regretful, I want to fix this, I want to build. And that could also be what the Ace of Pentacles is about, even though it's in the position of work and finance. And then maybe I'll clarify this Four of Cups. Could be a King of Pentacles who, you know, is deciding he's no longer going to be you know, doing the oh woe is me, or maybe who is missing his blessings. I don't think the King of Pentacles upright is missing his blessings. I think that if anything, the reverse Four of Cups would apply to him, and he's over what was bothering him before, and he's ready to, you know, be a go-getter. This may very well be an actual earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Somebody very generous, very stable, reliable. If they did, you know, have something to heal from, a lesson to learn, like they've learned it now. You know, this is the mature energy of the Pentacles, element of Pentacles. There's some sort of wish fulfillment. And whereas this guy in this particular deck, right, the Rider-Waite, this guy looks kind of like smug and like, you know, like, yeah, I always get what I want. Like, it's not like a blessing and like he's not thankful. But in reverse, I think, well, I have two different, for some it's like, be careful what you wish for, which could still be good or bad. And for others, it's like, he's humbled. You know, he's getting a wish fulfillment, but he's humbled. Again, he's learned. And look, we got another Four of Wands in reverse. So maybe this ties into this, and there's something between this King of Pentacles and this Queen of Swords too. Air and earth energy. Air, female or feminine, masculine, earth. And I guess that's it for what I would clarify. Let's get some oracle. I got this other deck going crazy over here. All right, two cards flipped over. Oh boy. Spring and cycles. Let's take a look at those. At the bottom of the deck, we have what? Sacred space, for one, and big goals for another. I think for some, this cycles and this spring is you will have achieved some sort of, or developed, created this sacred space. This sacred space could be a new home. It could be a space, again, in your heart, your relationship. And that cycle culminates, comes to an end in spring. So you could be something that you're working on now, like you get this good news, you get this, and maybe like, okay, I'm going to get this house, but you don't close on it. It's not really final, or it's not finished being remodeled. The construction's not done, or, you know, the ink is not dry on your contract or your divorce or your marriage or whatever it is until spring. I'm hearing March. When did spring begin? Oh yeah, March. March 21st is the first, or March 22nd is the first day of spring. So yeah, maybe that's when. Your love is blooming and your answers arrive in spring. But it may involve an actual space, like a new home, altar, prayer, candles, commune with your own divinity. Oh, sacred space was here. Cycles says momentum, force, life cycles. Stay grounded in the now. March. Is March Taurus? The grounded is sticking out to me. Like earth signs are real grounded. I think... No, May is Taurus. I don't know. Something about being grounded. Deception, mask, illusion, duplicity. Look beyond the superficial. The bottom of the deck, we have no. The answer to your question is no. But something isn't as it seems, so before you say no, look deeper. Two more. Control. Stagnation, delusion, release the need to control situations. At the bottom of the deck, we have masculine. Your divine masculine, your twin or soulmate is seeking you. And then on the other side, we have marriage, legal partnership, commitment, marital bond, and societal contract. you're meant to, again, allow these things to flow and develop or end. You know, like die a natural death, or, you know, have a natural birth and start, not to control it. Oh, that was our last two. We needed two more. From this other deck, the ones that were trying to fall all over the place. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I prefer them to fall individually, but we saw what happened last time. They kept giving me chunks of cards, and I rejected them, and they gave me the same cards again. All right. I have some doubts about the long-term success of this relationship. Will you still love me when I'm old and gray? I was hearing a song the other day. Oh, it's that song, We Were Just Kids. We were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. Oh, goodness. I don't remember the lyrics, and I can't think of who it is right now. This will be something I'll have to try to look up and remember and look up. And, you know, put a link or something on the video. I'm so confused, and I don't know where we go from here. Probably because you left the situation in a weird place, right? We got 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, 8 of Cups, 5 of Cups. So, yeah, you guys were probably in a weird place, a lot of us. That's why they don't know where to go from here. But it looks like, again, communication. Something is going to happen. I would say particularly for those in separation, because that's what Mercury retrograde does, right? It brings people out the woodwork. I dream about you a lot, and it always arouses me. Okay. So they have a heavy, you know, sexual attraction to you. That's another possible meaning of the King of Wands also. Let's have a nice dinner together and enjoy ourselves afterward. Yes, let's more of that. I have a lot of fears, and I'm not ready for a relationship. That's another meaning of the potentially of the 3 of Pentacles. Where do we see that? So in our surrounding energy, we have the 3 of Pentacles. If it involves love and relationship, although the King of in this pile, because I also clarify with the King of Cups, who is somebody, again, who's willing to do whatever it takes, you know, for what he wants. For those who are getting that energy or giving off that energy, then this card probably doesn't apply to you. But for others, sometimes the 3 of Pentacles means, like, I like you, and I think that you have the makings of, like, a perfect mate for me. But, like, you know, Pentacles energy can be slow, and the number 3 can be about the need to be patient. Like the 3 of Wands, right? We're waiting for your ship to come in. It's not going to show up tonight. We got to be patient. We got to wait. We can see it out there. We know it's definitely coming, but it's not going to be here today. So that can be what the 3 of Pentacles is about in this placement of surrounding energy. Maybe there's somebody in your surrounding energy who likes you and you like them, and you definitely think that they would make a great, you know, wife or husband, boyfriend or girlfriend, or whatever it is, and they think the same about you. But the love isn't starting today. You know, we're not going to start the honeymoon phase today. It's going to take some time to work on this and build it. So there's ways to do it. Like, just because you're not ready for a relationship doesn't mean you can't do anything. You can't even start talking or building a friendship. Of course you can. And the last one is, my soul recognized yours the first moment I saw you and looked deep into your eyes. You are my heart's desire. Isn't that beautiful? So on that note, those are the cards I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. Want to stick around a moment? I'm going to go over Mercury enters Libra this week. Virgo, sorry. Okay, so this week on the celestial calendar, we have on September 21st at 8:07 a.m., Jupiter will be semi-square Saturn. On September 22nd at 9:04 p.m., again, the Sun enters Libra. So that's the end of Virgo season and the start of Libra season. September 23rd at 8:04 a.m., Mercury retrograde enters Virgo. And that's the last major event for this week. On the 25th, so it's next week's reading technically, at 5:54 p.m., the new moon in Libra occurs at 2 degrees Libra. So next weekend we'll have a moon reading as well, in addition to our other reading. Mercury in Virgo, focused, efficient, constructive. The transit is from September 23rd through October 10th. But I think Mercury goes direct on the 2nd, if I remember correctly, October 2nd. So going direct October 2nd, but still in Virgo, and then remaining in Virgo through the 10th. There's no better place for the planet Mercury to be than in the sign of Virgo. Not only is Virgo one of Mercury's 2 home signs, meaning its energy works very well here, but Mercury is also exalted in Virgo, meaning its energy works best here. Mercury guides the way we think. It rules our ideas, the way we process information, and how we communicate with others. Because Virgo is the sign of the mind that prizes precision and practicality, so when Mercury enters Virgo, it signals the start of an incredibly productive time for everyone. Mercury's move into Virgo begins a period when our minds are sharp, our speech becomes precise, and we're able to communicate with others more efficiently. We aren't interested in sugarcoating our words under this transit. We want to cut through the clutter and to get straight to the point. That could be another thing that the Queen of Swords is doing here while she's in reverse. Virgo is highly skilled at taking in tons of information and stripping out everything that's not necessary. Again, so is she. That could be why she's here. So while Mercury moves through Virgo, our power to analyze information becomes much stronger, which helps us to communicate our thoughts in the clearest way possible. Productivity is one of the biggest benefits of Mercury in Virgo. While it's not the most fun transit, our opportunities to make real progress are huge, instead of getting stuck in a trap of dead-end ideas or in conversations that seem to go in circles. We intently focus on details and useful information, making this a time of great forward movement. One thing we must be aware of during this transit is becoming hypercritical. Discernment is a good thing, but during Mercury in Virgo, we can be so focused on finding fault. Maybe that's why you need to go deeper, go within, not just look at the surface. I forgot where those cards were. We can be so focused on finding faults that we insult others or become frustrated by our own flaws. If Virgos are perfectionists, like to a fault, they never count themselves successful. They're always moving out the goal line from themselves and trying to perfect something. And then the other people too, they look for your flaws. They expect you to be perfect. Anyway, redefining the way that we speak to others and conveying our opinions with tact is key when Mercury is in this discriminating sign. They call it the discriminating sign because it can get pretty bad. Because Mercury rules, this is about the retrograde part. Because Mercury rules Virgo, a retrograde through this sign can feel especially disruptive. So remember, so far we're experiencing Mercury retrograde in Libra. It's going to move into Virgo, so it's going to be different. All right, so It says that it can be extremely disruptive there. Virgo rules everything having to do with your day-to-day life, including your work, your health, and your routine. When Mercury retrogrades through Virgo, you could experience delays and missed deadlines on the job, or struggle with communication in your professional partnerships. Health issues may also pop up, right? We saw that coming. Especially issues that you've had in the past that you thought you had healed. Because Mercury and Virgo are both associated with information, you can also expect plenty of misunderstandings with appointments and contracts during this retrograde. And you could feel a general lack of clarity in your life. But you can turn this Mercury retrograde into something positive too. Mercury retrograde in Virgo is a great time to revisit projects that you left behind. Getting back into an exercise routine or reviving an old idea at work could set you up for real success once the retrograde ends. And it does go on to talk about what it means for work. You know, if you were born with Mercury and Virgo in your chart. And again, I got the information from www.tarot.com if you care to visit the same site to read on. I hope you have enjoyed the reading. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. I have one personal reading to do left. I'm sorry that I haven't done it yet. I will do it this weekend. I guess I'll do it now. When I hadn't put 9/11 into context last week and thought about the fact that I may all of a sudden become unexpectedly busy and whatnot, and have that go on for days surrounding 9/11. So that is indeed what happened. If you're on my Facebook, especially, or any of my social media, you probably have seen as much. You've seen the evidence of it. So I apologize, but I have that last one to do. I'm going to do it. And that's it. If anybody else would like a personal reading, I have a website, www.queenofswordsthelightworker.com, or you can hit me up on social media or my email, whatever. I am very, casual about that, super down to earth and humble, and don't mind people reaching out to me. Even answering questions. If you don't want a reading, you just want to ask me something, I'm cool with that for free. All right, namaste.